It's truly a pleasure being amongst an audience as lovely as you and a stage as majestic as this. Having laid your eyes on me, I'm sure you all must have started calculating my age and concluding that it's amazing to find me speaking on this stage. But let me reveal, I am happily living in my teen age at present.
And guess what? You're not the only one I've surprised with this piece of information. Initially, I used to feel a little awkward on how people would react on knowing my actual age. But now I really don't mind that. I would like to tell you what has brought about this change in me is a book that I have finished reading lately. Having said this, I would like to cite one of its most inspirational quotations. The best way to measure how much we have grown isn't by inches or the number of laps you can now run around the track, or even your grade point average. But it's what you have done with your time, how you have chosen to spend your days, and whom you have touched this year. What made me wonder after reading this is why do we define people on the basis of the age, color, family background, physical features, knowledge of a certain language, class ranks, etc. The more we define people on these bases, the more this world breeds negativity. I think this all happens because we all lack compassion, and that is what I'm going to talk about today, that how compassion is an essential ingredient to bake the cake of goodness in the world. But before we throw light on this topic, we need to know what compassion really means. Well, compassion literally means to suffer together. Among emotion researchers, it is defined as the feeling that arises when we are confronted with others' suffering and feel motivated to relieve that suffering.
But compassion is not only limited to others' suffering only. Before we feel compassion for others, we need to feel compassion for ourselves. I never knew how to practice self-compassion until one day I experienced its miracle. It was an inter-school swimming competition and I was bombarded with a lot of comments that were more than enough to push me to give up on the competition and head back home depressed. There were comments on my height and consequently questions about my potential. That was the time I discovered my hidden potential and participated wholeheartedly, now with greater zeal, in the competition. And here were the results. Instead of being awfully drenched in those negative remarks, I basked in the glory of being one of the winners of the competition. Being compassionate to others is equally important. Before we make any assumptions or judge somebody on what we see, we need to have compassion for others. We need to get the answers to the following questions. What did the person feel and why did the person feel so?
Once we have got answers to the following questions, we will exhibit positivity and goodness all around. There would be no enmity, no grudges once we conquer this evil and resist evil to conquer us. Let us all rise unconquerable and share this delectable piece of goodness cake with everyone. Thank you, dear audience, for listening to me, and a big thank you to our director, Mrs. Manjoor Dhillon, to provide me this prestigious stage to give voice to my thoughts.